Hi guys, I'm back up here with another daily motivational message for the collective. Remember, all messages are not for all, they're for some. Take what you need and leave the rest. As well as we got that slot open for personal readings. If you feel guided or interested in purchasing one of those, you know what to do. DM me, we can get you set up, come fuck with your girl, okay? As well as, like I said, drop a comment down below. Love to hear from you guys to start the discussion. As well as let's go and share these vids, man. Let's get this divine knowledge out here for the collective so we all can get on one accord, okay? So I got 2 cards from the Archangel deck, the orange ones here, and 4 cards from the African Tarot, those brown ones, okay? All right, so let's go on and get it popping, okay? All right, so for the foundation of this message has to do with teaching and learning and comfort, right? Okay, so I'm gonna read them. Teaching and learning. Keep an open mind and learn new ideas. Then teach these ideas to others, okay? So what this energy is saying here to break these cards down, right? We're gonna do it one by one, right? This is kind of like the energy, kind of like the collective message I put up earlier or yesterday, right? Later on yesterday, right? This is that type of energy in these moments in time, is really embracing and I guess your blessings are at the bottom, right? When you're at the bottom, when you're going through the pit, when you're going through the furnace, when you're going through things, that's where your blessings are, right? Because in those moments in time, that's where you learn the most about yourself. You learn the most about yourself when you're going through times of stress and adversity and pressure, going through pressure, right? This is that type of energy. It's about us really embracing the bottom, embracing that, I guess, time of delay, adversity. That's where you learn the most about yourself. That's where you build that relationship with yourself and your creator at the bottom, right? This is that type of energy, because the moment that you get out of the bottom, the moment that you make it to the top, right, you're going to appreciate where you came from and all the things that you've learned at the bottom, right? So the next card is comfort, right? I am with you in times of need. Help yourself, helping your heart to heal, right? That's the cards. Here's the cards, y'all. I'm sorry, I totally forgot to show y'all these. Yeah, so yeah, it all applies with the whole quote and everything, but this has to really more do with getting comfortable with the bottom, accepting the bottom, right? Because that's where your blessings lie. They lie there, right? So this is that type of energy. The more that you go through your adversity, the more that you go through your delays, the more that you go through things, you'll start to be able to see that. You'll start to watch your watch the plan of what God, the Most High, whoever you believe in, right, is unfolding in front of your eyes, right? But you got to understand, when God's working on you, right? Let me say that shit again for the people in the back. When God is working on you, okay, what God's going to do is destroy you, break you down to rebuild you up, okay? That's what we mean by God's working on me. God's working on me, right? God is going to break you down to the smallest morsel, the smallest capacity, right? To rebuild you up anew, to make you a better version of yourself. So within that process, you're going to have to be able to withstand the heat. You're going to have to be able to withstand the heat within the kitchen, right? Because if you can't stand the heat, get the fuck about the kitchen, right? We all heard that, right? This is that type of energy. Fucking with God, there ain't nothing sweet with that, right? This is that type of energy here, because walking a path with God and learning who you are, right, it's going to put you in these molds more than once, right? Because you're always evolving, you're always molding into something better and greater, right? So that being said, this continuous cycle of breaking you down, rebuilding you again, breaking you down and rebuilding you again is going to constantly be within your journey, right? Constantly, right? This is that type of energy in these moments of time, understanding that when it's time to put your boots on the ground, right? And get to work. Let me say that again. When it's time for you to put your boots on the ground and get to work, right? What do I mean by that? It's when you've been treading along on your journey, and when God puts you in a situation, right, where it's going to require you to dig deep within yourself, right? Because if I could really be transparent with y'all, this year so far, right, this year, because we're on our way out, right, has been a tough year for me emotionally and spiritually, right? Where I've been tested so many different ways, some complex shit, where it's put me in a space where now understanding where I'm at in my journey, but going through that process and still going through that process, the birthing pains of that motherfucker is like excruciating. It's damn near like equivalent to giving childbirth or something, right? This is that type of energy here in these moments in time. When God breaks you down to rebuild you up, right? To make you into a better version of yourself, because God had to break you down to build you up, right? Every level that you reach, you go through this cycle over and over and over and over again, right? This is that type of energy, right? Is being able to get comfortable when it's time to be broken down again, to be rebuilt up, right? This is that type of energy in these moments in time. Yeah, I can't make this shit up with my God card. Here's God, not for the imagery, for the symbolism. Here's God. God is the center of this whole entire expedition, this whole entire transformation within your life. But like I said, going through each level and meeting each level, right? You're going to be broken down and rebuilt back up. And when you're broken down, it can be shitty, man. It fucking sucks. Right? When God fucking breaks your stuff down, breaks your foundations down, and tells your motherfucking ass to rebuild it again. No, you didn't build it right. Rebuild it again. Right? And it could be like, damn, God, I was almost, you let me build it up to this point where I was almost done, and then you gonna knock that shit down? I don't understand. Right? This is that type of energy. Sometimes God puts you in those positions. Puts you in those positions not because to punish you or anything like that. It's to make sure that you're ready for what you're asking for and where you're trying to go. Because when that next level shows itself, it's about you being ready for it, right? Because if you ain't ready for it, what you gonna do? Fumble the ball, right? This is that type of energy in these moments in time here with the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands has to do with going back home to the kingdom. What? The kingdom of God, to your creator, right? But in the midst of that, as you being broken down and rebuilt, broken down, rebuilt, broken down and rebuilt, within that process, within that space, that's where you develop that relationship with God. When you're broken down, when you're down and out, when you are just on your last leg, where you're like on your fucking knees, like, why, God? Can you please reveal to me what you need me to know, right? Where I need to be, right? Because it puts you in a space to no longer be stubborn, because, humans, we're stubborn, right? We're stubborn, and we know that a hard head makes a soft ass, right? And when you finally hit that point of being sick and tired, that's when God can work with you, right? God can work with you. For some reason, the light is fucking up here when I have the hood on or something. God can work with you when you're willing to be worked on. I repeat, God can work on you when you're willing to be worked on. But if you're constantly, this goes for me too, in an energy of I got it, God can't do nothing with that. You know what I'm saying? God can't do nothing with that. You're going to have to be willing to be worked on. That's the only moment, that's the only space, that's the only time God can really work with you, when you're willing to be worked on. I like that. That's facts. God can only work on you when you're willing to work, when you're willing to be worked on. That's facts. That's facts. Because that's when you're open, that's when you're obedient, that's when you're paying attention. When you're allowing God to lead your life, right? Yeah. That's when you free yourself from your own personal prisons, right? With the Six of Swords. That's when you go with the flow. That's when you keep your eyes on God. That's when you start to form into a new version of yourself. It's when you finally surrender and go to God like, what do you need me to do? You drop everything and just go. What's that? What's that fucking line? It's by Ye. What'd he say? He said, have you had a shot of Ye yet? Because they drop everything. They drop everything. I believe that's around those fucking lines. Around somewhere of what that is, right? This is that type of energy with God. Have you tried some with God yet? Because you drop everything fucking with God, right? This is that type of energy. Hopefully that makes sense. Because the moment that you allow God to really indwell your mind, indwell your heart, indwell your being, and allow God to use you as a humble vessel, that's when this void, right? With this Nine of Cups, this void of feeling like you're disconnected. Because I see this as you, right? Us as a collective, right? And God, right? Our salvation, right? The things that we dream of, right? The things that we're looking for. Feeling like there's a gap in between them both. Like, you're not getting a signal. We're not getting a signal, right? This is that type of energy. The moment that you release yourself and you really allow God to be like, okay, God, I've been trying to figure this shit out. Obviously, my way is not the proper way. Obviously, where I'm trying to go ain't the way I'm trying to go, or the right way to go, because it keeps what falling through, right? Not falling through, I guess it's more like that, right? Yeah. So this is that type of energy in these moments in time. Show me where I need to go. Show me where I need to stand. Show me who I need to be. Show me who I need to tap into. How can I tap into you? How can I get an understanding of you? Right? But when you awaken to those realms, like I said, ain't shit sweet, bro. Ain't shit sweet at all. God gonna put you through the fucking ringer, not because, oh, like I want to see you suffer. No. To show you who you are. Right? In those moments of fight or flight, in those moments of extreme stress, in those moments of when your back is against the wall, that's when you really see your ability. Who you really are. You can't see yourself like that unless you're going through adversity, unless you're going through fucked up shit, unless you're experiencing some shadow work, you ain't gonna be able to see who you are in the light. You ain't gonna be able to see who you are when shit is cool, when you just coasting. God gotta knock your world off, right? Knock your world upside down to get your world right side up. I repeat, God gotta knock your world upside down to get your world right side up. Right? This is that type of energy in these moments in time. To wrap this message up, it's about you putting yourself in that willing space to be used by God. That's the only time that God can really work on you, is when you're in a space, in a willing energy to be worked on. Okay? All right. I think I'm going to leave it there. Remember, all messages are not for all. They're for some. Take what you need and leave the rest. As well as we got that slot open for personal readings. If you feel guided or interested in purchasing one of those, you know what to do. DM me. We can get you set up. Come fuck with your girl, okay? As well as drop a comment down below. Let it hear from you. Let's go and start the discussion so we all can get on one accord. Last but not least, let's go and share these vids, man. Let's get this divine knowledge out here for the collective so we all can get on one accord, okay? I want you guys to have a good day, and bye-bye.